Hey there, my name's Sean McMahon and I'm with the RAND Group, and today I'm here to talk about grant tracking and billing in Sage Intacct. The Grant Group has the opportunity to work with a lot of different types of organizations, and for our for-profit clients, this may not be super impactful. But for our nonprofit clients, we know that you guys are working under a very special set of considerations, and that you are overly reliant on all the various different funding sources that you receive. And some of those are private, some of those are government based, but really those are the lifeblood of your organization, and those are what allow you to basically fulfill your mission. So, why is this important? Well, we did a little research and we found that in 2025, a third of all nonprofits reported experiencing at least one type of government funding disruption. And like we talked about before, those are really the lifeblood of your mission, and that can be super critical. And there's a lot of different reasons why that government funding might be disrupted, but at the end of the day, you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're doing anything that could potentially disrupt that funding, the flow of that income that allows you to do what you need to do. And so you want to make sure that when you're doing your year-end reporting, when you're filing everything, that it's as clean as possible. And there's one particular report in general that we want to talk about because this is super critical as well. And that's CFA. And basically it's Schedule of Expenditures of Federal Awards. It's a key report. It's basically a mini audit that really summarizes all the federal awards that were in play during that particular period and summarizes everything that you spent, all the expenditures that you've incurred, and really helps somebody make the determination of whether or not those are qualifying expenses and really whether or not that award money should have been used for that purpose. And so, like I said, with the disruptions that we've seen, you really want to make sure that the reporting that you produced is both timely, that it's as clean as possible, and really doesn't open you up to any red flags. And so we know that this is a problem that a lot of you are experiencing, or definitely a situation that you'd like to avoid. And so now we want to turn to how Intacct can help. And there's a couple different things that are inherent to Sage Intacct that can really help make this easier for you and hopefully give you some peace of mind. One of the things that Intacct has built in is the ability to have customizable dashboards. Our team is really good at setting these up for a lot of different purposes, but one way that this can be used for a nonprofit specifically is that we can set up a customizable dashboard that is curated to exactly what you need to see, that will show you where all these different award sources are at, the various programs that they're attached to, and how they're doing year to date. And so you can easily take a look at it and say, okay, hey, we spent an overly large amount of the budget year to date. Maybe that needs to influence some of our spending decisions going forward. And so there's a lot of different ways that we can set that up to make that easy for you. Another way that Intacct can help is that Sage has put together some special pricing considerations that are specifically for nonprofits. For-profit organizations can't access this. And what these are for is to ensure that no nonprofit organization is ever out there saying, hey, we could really use the functionality in Sage Intacct, we just can't afford it. Sage has been really good about going through and making this accessible to everybody. And really, when you're in a position where every dollar is super critical, we want to make sure that this isn't going to be something that hampers you from getting the functionality you need in order to complete your mission. And the final way that Intacct has really been built for nonprofits is through the addition of the grant tracking and billing module. And really what this module is designed to do is make sure that everything is located in one place and there's a single source of truth. So all the various documents that you have, all the details of the award, who's managing it, what employees are dedicated to it, all of that information can be stored within Sage Intacct. So once again, you have that single source of truth. It also enables you, by putting it in there, to easily capture all the costs, tag it to the relevant award, including employee time. So if we're taking your employees' billable hours and billing it against a specific award, it's really easy for us to do that within Sage Intacct. And the final way that Intacct has made this easy is that we can generate easily produced year-end reports that are already stored within your system. You can go in and basically push a couple of buttons, produce the report you need to do, and get it out the door as quickly as possible to ensure that there's no disruption, or you're avoiding disruption as much as possible when you're producing those year-end reports. And so now I'm going to pop into Sage Intacct and show you a little bit about what that looks like. So this is my landing page in Intacct. This is not necessarily what your experience would look like, but I'd like to show you the navigation just so you get an idea of what the feel of Intacct is like and how it feels to work through it. Today, we're specifically going to be talking about the dashboards. And the reason I wanted to highlight the dashboards is because they can really work for a lot of different situations. And so you may have an accounts payable dashboard, you may have something set up specifically for your CFO, but the one that we're really concerned with today is the grant management dashboard. So I'm going to go ahead and pop into that. And this is just a CAN dashboard. This already comes with the system. This is not something that you would necessarily need to do a lot of lifting to configure, but our team is absolutely here and we can show you what it looks like. And then if you decide you need to move any of these around or really customize it to make sure that it fits the way that you go through your day, you can. In this specific grant management dashboard, we've got a variety of different grants and funding sources that we've got set up in here. And I just want to pop into this real quick to take a look and see what that might look like. So this is the Health Initiative 1 grant, and this is some of the information we got in here, but if I want to edit it, just so I can give you guys an idea of what it's like to go through and put this information in, we can go through if there's a federal ID assigned to it or a tax ID, we can put all that information in. If there's a specific employee within the organization that we want to designate as our manager, we have the ability to do so. Change the color coding just because maybe we don't like the blue or want to put something different. It's up to you and what makes the most sense to you. We also have the ability to do a couple of other things. And we can set up the specific fiscal year, also the tax year that it applies to, because those two things can often be very different. And we can also go through and put additional information, say this is really only going to be specific work days that are applied to this. And we can put the date of operation. And this is really important because we also know that a lot of these funding sources have a time limit built in. So we can go ahead and put all that information in here really easily. There's also a place to store documents or put Gantt charts or other things like that in, but I'm not going to get into that because it's kind of boring, to be quite honest with you. We can go ahead and close that out. And another thing that I wanted to show you really quick is that the Health Initiative 1 grant that we were talking about earlier. I've got that staged right here. And we've got the income, which is really just basically the award amount or the funds that we've received so far year to date. And then we can also see the variance. But if I wanted to take a look at the expenses and how the money's been spent year to date, and hey, those program expenses maybe look a little high. And so just like anything else in Intacct, where you see a hyperlink, it gives you the ability to drill down and find more information. So as I'm going into this, I see some pretty regular occurrences. The 730 seems like it's pretty regular. Well, what's behind this 550? Well, I can go back once again all the way down to the transaction level, find out exactly why this is put in. If I decide that I need to edit it, I may have to go through a couple of different steps because this appears to already been locked down. Or if I want to take any of these and put employee time, there's just a lot of different ways that I can do that. And so just wanted to kind of illustrate the flexibility and the different ways that you can navigate to get more information about anything that you're seeing within the system. So the last thing that I wanted to show you real quick is because we talked about those year-end reports. And so Intacct, once again, has a lot of CAN reports that are going to be specific to grants, grant management, and also just to nonprofits in general. And so these are all the different ones. You'll notice right here we have the balance sheet for that Health Initiative 1 grant. But I can also search within this and look, there's statement of revenues and expenditures for projects and grants comparison. We have all these different ones that are built in specifically for grants that are already within the system, including a CFA details report. And so there's just a lot of things that come through with the nonprofit version of Sage Intacct that we really already have available for you and can really make it easy for you to see the things that you need to see and really get the insight that you need in order to be able to efficiently complete your mission. And so that was really all that I had that I wanted to show you today. If you have any questions, please reach out. We'd love to answer anything that you have that comes up, and really just, we want to talk to you more and see how we can help. So with that, wanted to thank you guys for your time and hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks. Bye.